Hey friends, how's it going? I have missed you guys terribly, and I am not just saying that. Um, you kind of get addicted? Is that the right word? Yeah, kind of. To the comment section, and you want to engage with it all the time, and at some point it slows down. Um, especially when you're not posting. So you're like, oh, I miss them. So it allows you to miss people, which is kind of awesome. Like, I do believe in the absence makes the heart grow fonder situation. So anyway, it's October 1st, which means it's the first day of Red Threaded's fall fur costume, and I am riveted to my Instagram account and can't stop staring at it while I learn everyone's actual name, which is kind of fun. There's a lot of new people here, so if you're new, hi, welcome, nice to meet you. Please go down in the comments and introduce yourself and let me know who you are and how you came here and what you're into and, the stuff. Go leave me some comments so that I can become once and again addicted to the comment section. So I'm dealing with a little problem. Actually, it's a couple problems and they kind of solve each other. So the first problem is that this is currently my sewing room situation, which is, as you can tell, not great. I need to clean it up, and B, you guys have been asking me like crazy for a haul video for... Are you gonna focus on me? No, you're gonna focus on over there. Okay, cool. You guys have been asking me like crazy for a haul video from Europe. So, I have thoughts on this. I'm gonna put you guys on a tripod and talk to you about it, and then what's gonna happen is I'm gonna clean, and while I clean, I'm gonna do a haul video for you. I also wanted to mention that at the end of this video, there's going to be a little instruction for you to go over to my Instagram because I am going to do a giveaway for you guys, for people who want to. So I'm going to talk about that at the end of the video. So those of you who managed to stick around can check that out. Hey guys, Future Noelle here. I was editing the haul you're about to watch, and I was editing the part where I was talking to you about hauls, and I realized like I didn't really say what I wanted to say, so yeah, I'm gonna try again, because I can. So I'm conflicted about putting up haul videos. I don't probably want to do them very often. This one was a bit excessive because I went to Europe and I bought a bunch of cool stuff that is directly relational to costuming, and people were asking for this video. So I decided that I would do it, but I don't really want to do it very often. I had sort of a bad experience on my last channel, which I will link to down below, but it's largely defunct. It's a makeup and skincare channel, and I don't post to it anymore because I like you guys like a lot more than I like posting over there. But I had a bad experience over there because there was a lot of hauls because I was collecting a lot of makeup because the industry was putting out a lot of really interesting and new things, and I was really into it at the time, which is why I started a YouTube channel on it. But it came to the point where people were like expecting hauls and stuff, and that's just sort of toxic. So it's one of the reasons I don't actually post to that channel anymore, because I don't want it to be all hauls all the time. So I guess I had a kind of a bad experience over there, so that's largely one of the reasons. Also, I don't want to be braggy. Like, I don't want to show you stuff saying like, hey, look at all the cool stuff I got, neener, neener, neener. Like, and I don't want to make anybody feel bad. Like, that's not my intent. I'm like 100% sure you guys are not that crowd that would take it that way or anything like that. But I also just don't ever want to come across that way. Like, that's not my intent with this channel. I had a bit of a bougie trip and I acknowledge that, but like that's a once in a lifetime thing. It will never happen again. And it was largely due to the death of my grandmother, where I had some money that I could spend on this. So, you know, my husband and I do have good jobs and we live in Silicon Valley, and we work at tech companies. So, you know, we're not poor, but we're not rich either. Like, we don't have a huge savings accounts or anything like that. But like I can buy stuff, like you know, it's fun, but I try really hard not to. And I don't want to be braggy about it ever. Like, I don't want to make anybody feel bad. I also think having lots of haul videos out in the world adds to like a materialistic society and like a purchase-oriented society, one that's like consumerist. And I know, like, I don't want to get on a high horse about this or soapbox or anything like that, but I do think like you know, we could probably do better by this planet. We could probably have less stuff. We don't need all the stuff we buy. I didn't need everything I bought. Like, and I don't want to make everyone materialistic. Get it? Materialistic? I am super materialistic because the one thing that I do hoard is fabric. I am pretty chill about most everything else in my life. Like, our house doesn't have a lot of tchotchkes in it. I have 7 cats. They will just break everything. Like, we don't have little tables with stuff all over it. I don't bring things home from vacations. When I travel, a lot of times I come back with almost nothing, or I come back with things that slot into my life and I can actually use. Like when I go to London at Thanksgiving every other year with my husband, I bring back stuff like body wash because there's a body wash that I can get a lot cheaper over there that is native to England that I love, and I'll use it and I'll use it up. And so I spend the next year smelling good and dreaming about my trip that was wonderful. I'm not, I'm a Xennial. I think I talked about this before, so I'm not really a Gen Xer, but I kind of am, and I'm not really a millennial, but I kind of am. But I do subscribe to the spend your money on experiences thing. That being said, if I bring something back, I bring back stuff that's useful. So I brought back stuff that was useful. I brought back fabric, and I brought back costuming hats, and I brought back a necklace, and I brought back things like I can actually physically use or I can pass on to my friends and they will use. I have like cat hair in my nose. So basically I'm squidgy about putting up haul videos, is what I'm saying. That being said, this was kind of extraordinary and I got some cool stuff, and it's just fabric and you've seen most of it already in the videos. So I figured since people were asking for a haul video that I would provide one. And I don't mind sharing, like, you know, mail posts when I get them. Like I put them in my blogs, like, hey, I got this book in the mail or whatever. Like that stuff doesn't really bother me, but I don't ever want to come across as like meaner or like, hey, you need this stuff to be a complete human. I'm constantly culling, like I'm trying to get rid of stuff all the time. I even cull my fabric collection despite the fact that I hoard like a dragon. So yeah, that's how I feel about hauls. I'm just putting that out there as a disclaimer, as a discussion topic. If you guys want to talk about it, we can. If you don't want to talk about it, that's fine. I just wanted to let you know that, like, I don't want to make you guys feel weird about buying stuff, and I also just want to share the fun part of it. So that's why I'm doing it, and I hope you guys take it in the spirit that it is meant for. And I intend on like living out of my stash for the next year if possible. There's like one possible exception, but everything else I'm gonna try to sew straight out of my stash. So we will see. So with no further ado, I hope you do enjoy this haul video. These are all the things that I got while out and about, and some of the things that came to my house while I was gone. And there's a little purchase that I made this weekend because I couldn't help it. Yeah, I need to stash. I need a stash bust. Like next year is stash busting year. Yeesh. Okay. Okay, the first thing I got is this beautiful green suiting wool. I think I paid $15 a meter for it. It's 100% wool. It was made in England, and it's a really nice, light, very lightweight wool that is very smooth and not super itchy. I have secret plans for this that may or may not come to fruition depending on how much I get my act together. And I did buy 10 meters of it. So on first glance, this wool looks almost the same as the green. It is a slightly heavier weight actually, and it has a little bit more of a herringbone texture to it. It's really hard to tell unless you like zoom in on it, but you can kind of see it there. The herringbone is a little bit more apparent in this wool. It was also 10 meters for $15 a meter. It's slightly between, I would say it's like eggplant colored. It's like a little bit more purple than burgundy, not quite purple. I think it's a beautiful wool, and it kind of goes with this other situation that I have going on here. So I am very excited about this guy. I did buy 10 meters of it at 15 pounds a meter. Okay, lastly, and you can watch this color get lighter and lighter as this video starts editing. It's very funny. It's this olive green sort of pinstripe, very, very lightweight, like way lighter than the other two, wool. And I only bought 3 meters of this because I think it's all that they had left. And I actually don't know really what compelled me to buy this because it's not my usual jam, but I did think it might make a nice pair of slacks someday if I ever do get into pants. And if not, a beautiful waistcoat could be made out of this extremely light wool. I live in California, so I can't have waistcoats that are excessive here. But it was so beautiful, and despite it not being my normal jam, I thought I would give it a try. Okay, there will be no sexy shots of my all white fabric here because my camera goes completely out of focus when you just present it with a wall of white. So I bought 15 yards of this linen, which is absolutely beautiful. I bought this in Paris, and I bought it because Zach Pinsett said everyone should buy some of this. And I went, okay. And then they had 15 meters left, I guess, and so that's what I took. I think this might have been $20 a meter, no, 20 euros a meter. However, this is a really nice weight and quality, and it will always remind me of hanging out in Paris with Zach. So I definitely thought this was worth the little splurge. I normally would never spend this much on linen. You can get linen for like $8, $9 a yard in the Fabric District in LA. The problem with the Fabric District in LA is that you don't know that you can get this particular quality every single time. Like, you get whatever's there. They have some very, very fine linens there, and then they also have some very, very coarse linens, and this one's a really nice weight, and has a very nice hand. So I decided to go for it, and I am one of those people that if an option is presented to me, I will buy more rather than less so that I make sure I don't ever not have it, I guess is how you say that. So yeah, here's the linen. So I bought this wool tartan, and I bought 6 meters plus 3 meters plus 3 meters, so a total of 12 meters. And I think I paid £6 a meter for this. The man at the place claimed that this was a wool and viscose blend, which means rayon for anybody who doesn't know what viscose means, but it's rayon. And normally, I think I probably would have hesitated at that, wanting natural fibers, but occasionally I can deal with a blend. This is when I get historically adequate. This tartan is just amazing and very beautiful. And then I was with my friend Pandora, and she mentioned that she actually made a Victorian jacket out of it, and now it has sentimental value because it reminds me of Pandora. So that's how my life rolls, and that's how I end up with 12 meters of this. But honestly, bustle dress dreams. Someday I will figure out how to plaid match, and I will make something beautiful out of this, although nothing compared to that amazing dress that Wearing History made. If you guys haven't seen that, I will put a picture of it up on the screen here for you because it is just the most breathtaking dress. The plaid matching is like sexual. That's the best way I can put it. Anyway, apparently I'm the only person who like fangirls at her about this thing, but we get a good laugh out of it because when I introduced myself the second time, I was like, I kind of freaked out at you about your dress last year, and she's like, oh yeah, you. I forgot. So anyway, someday this will become a beautiful bustle gown, and as you saw, I do have that eggplant / burgundy that would go exactly perfectly with this, so we'll see if there's some of that left over. Then we come to the cotton organdy, and again, I can't zoom all the way in on this for you because my camera will just completely lose focus. But this is 10 meters. You can see the sheerness of it, and compared to the other cotton organdy that I bought, it is much less stiff. So I think it has definitely less stiffener in it. It's a softer material. It almost feels finer than the other that I got. Let me drag some of that out. Okay, here you can see them side by side. This is a cotton organdy that I got in London. You can see it kind of has a little bit of a like not chunky texture, but it's definitely like crisper. It definitely feels like, not like paper, but it's definitely very crisp. And it holds a pleat really well. This is very much more fabric-y and soft, and you can see the difference in literally how my hand looks through them. They just look entirely different. So like I said, I think this is 10 meters, and I believe it was 10 euros per meter. So this was a good catch for this. And then I went over to London and I found this treasure trove, which is entirely different. I can definitely see using them for different purposes. I can definitely see like rinsing some of this out to try to get it to be a little softer for sure. What happened here? This is actually 51 yards. I don't actually know how we got to 51. Actually, I do. We had a bunch of shortcuts. So the guy told me if I took the short pieces, which were at the very minimum a meter, if not more than a meter, or they might have a little flaw in them like this one does right here, then he would give them to me for £4 a meter. Cotton organdy is actually really hard to get here. And if you do get it, it's definitely online, and you can't feel it or touch it or do any of the things you want to do to it. So I bought 51 meters, which is crazy. It's absolutely insane. And I don't fully know how much I have of the white. I guess I could do reverse math. Okay, so there's some ivory in here too. So here you can see the difference between the white and the ivory. So there is some ivory in here, and I think there's probably 10 meters of the ivory. I'm pretty sure there's 10 meters of the black, but there actually may have been single pieces in here also that let this be more than 10 meters, so I would actually have to go measure it again. What I do know is that I found all these neat colors, which you don't normally see. So I found pink, sort of a, let's call this mint green. Is that mint? This is more like, I don't know, robin egg blue maybe? It's a little less blue than it's showing up on my monitor. So this is definitely mint. This is like, I guess I would call it robin egg blue. This beautiful like creamy eggshell yellow color, and then pink. And I'm pretty sure I got 5 meters of each of these. So here's 20 meters, right? And then let's just say the black is 10, so that's 30. So 21 meters of white and cream. I think the cream there's only like 3 meters. That sounds about right. And there's like 18 or 19 of the white. So all my friends, if you need organdy, this is the place to get it. So I'm pretty sure I bought 51 yards of this. So there's a total of 61 yards of organdy in this pile here. Some French, some British, and definitely like different. I've never seen these colors before here, but I'm sure they're available. I'm sure they're online. But it's hard to say no to £4 a meter, especially when the exchange rate is 1.2. So it's almost even right now, which sort of kills me because I can justify almost anything. So I think that is a wrap on fabric. I think this is all the fabric I got. And all that together totals 111 meters of fabric, which I managed to get home and not be completely overweight. To be fair, I was in first class, and first class lets you bring home 3 suitcases at 70 pounds each, or 32 something kilograms. A lot. And I was almost there at them. So my husband was like, whoa girl, and I'm like, I know, I'm so sorry. And the hats were in there and they were really light, so that tells you how heavy this fabric is. You may be coming to the question that has occurred to me, which is, hey Noelle, where are you gonna put all this fabric? I just don't know. I have no idea. I think I might get a bin and place that fabric here underneath my workstation. And I would put it in the garage, but that will bring it out of sight. And that, as you know, brings things out of mind, which means I won't strive to make space for it in the cabinets. But the cabinets are chock full. The cabinets have a lot of silk in them, and they need to be divested. Also, this pile right here is all fabric that needs to go somewhere too, so it might be more than one bin. Yeah, okay. Okay, I'm sneaking in here with a little bonus fabric because I got it this weekend with Lynn because I was out giving her back all the things that she loaned me, and we met up at a fabric store, which is quite frankly the worst place to meet because I, of course, spent $150. I've never bought cat fabric in my life, but this cat fabric called to me. It sang my name and it sang Noelle by me because these cats are like Japanese cats on koi and turtles, and they're doing things and they're in their little kimonos. So I feel like I need to make a kimono out of it. I've never wanted a kimono before. Like, not like a obi style formal kimono, but like a hanging around the house kimono. So that's a thing that might happen. Another thing I found was this amazing bias tape. Like, this is actual bias tape already. Wow, huh? And it just called to me with some Victorian dreams. And then more bias tape. This is 10 yards, and this is, I want to say like 19, because it was like $1.50. And I was like, they had 19 yards left, and I was like, okay, it's stripy. Like, who doesn't want stripy bias tape? And I can cut it down if I need it to be smaller or whatever, but I thought it'd be awesome to trim hats with, / other needs. Waist tapes, stuff like that. That would make an awesome waist tape on something. Anyway, these are just a little extras. Here's a little something I didn't actually show you, but I got when I got the hats, which is this parasol. I will pop it open in just one second, but how I got it home was I went and I got a $1 poster tube at a coffee shop. Actually, it was £1, so it was $1.20. But it's allowed me to bring this guy home safely, and it is Regency, and it is a pagoda, which I collect pagodas, so I was really excited to find this. So this guy has been recovered, and I bought this at the Farthingale shop that I bought the hat at, and I just thought it was beautiful, and it will go with everything, and I collect parasols. Someday I will show you guys my parasol collection of my antique parasols. They're all shattered, but I need to learn how to recover them and go ahead and recover them because I specifically collect these pagoda shapes. This is the shape that this is with that really severe arch right there. I specifically collect those and the tilting parasols, which are also known as carriage parasols. So anyway, I thought that this was nicely done. I think it's beautiful and it will go with everything, so there we are. Okay, these first three are all by Haberdashery Paris, and they normally have perfumes only in their own stores. So they got talked into by Fortnum & Mason, hence the inside of this box, which I normally don't keep perfume boxes, but these guys are staying in their perfume boxes. This guy was developed by this perfumery, which has been open since 1775, to make a perfume specifically to be sold in the flagship store of Fortnum & Mason. And honestly, like, the rest of my perfumes are all historical, but this is actually probably my favorite. I'm very into this one. It's very, like, sort of dark and musky, but without being overbearing. So I really enjoy it. So I bought this guy, but it's like a Fortnum & Mason exclusive, but I do have a huge perfume collection. For those of you wondering, I don't just like randomly buy perfumes on my trip because they're historical. I actually have a huge perfume collection, which I should have actually put on my other channel, but I didn't. This guy right here was made in 1919 for the Princess of Romania when she came to London. It's by it's called Mon Boudoir, by the same perfumery that's been open since 1775. See, right there. I had the guy like write me labels so that I know what they all are, and I'm gonna keep the labels with it. This is a very like non-offensive fragrance, but definitely sort of signature. I think he said it was also one of the very first fragrances in which they used multiple flowers in the same perfume. Normally they would just use the same kind of flower, but maybe different varieties in one perfume, but this they used multiple flowers. So I really liked this one. Actually, I just really liked all of them. This one has a little special place in my heart. It is Queen Victoria's perfume. They developed this for Queen Victoria, specifically for her. She wore it on her wedding day. She wore it until the day she died. It's very like orange blossomy. It's definitely her fragrant scent. And it does come down a little powdery on me. Like it ends up smelling like a little bit like baby powder, but very much like orange blossoms. And this last one is called Black Jade, and it is by Lubin Paris. And it is a reformulation, definitely, but it is Marie Antoinette's perfume. It is the perfume that she wore when she got married, and it's also the perfume that was spritzed into her veil on the day that she was beheaded. So I was like, yeah, I'll take that. This is definitely a darker perfume as well. I tend to like darker perfumes, either very dark or very fruity. So all of these actually like fit into my genre of perfume anyway, so that's why I bought them. But also like historically scented is definitely a thing, and I'm super into it. This obviously came from the Bath Fashion Museum. It has many good photos of some of the things that are there. So this is super cheap. I think it was like £5. So I picked it up because it looks like a great keepsake and reference. This was also there, and I think it was also £5. So they have a bunch of cool pictures and information on stuff in here. And I like getting stuff like this when I go visit a collection if I can, just to remind me of stuff that I saw in there in addition to the pictures that I took. And boy oh boy, I filmed that whole thing and I took a lot of pictures. Okay, things that have come since. I got this, which is the Art of Disney costuming. This thing is massive. It's just gigantic. I don't know what I have to say about this yet, but spoilers, I actually don't know if I love it. Like, I'm gonna keep it, obviously, but it seems to have like 1 or 2 pictures of each thing and not really like this one has a person in it, so cool, but then there's not like a lot about the costume and how it was made. So here's Jasmine. Oh, Alicia, this reminds me of you. I just saw this movie on the plane. I actually really liked it. I didn't think I was going to like it that much, but I did. So I don't know. I just sort of expected, I guess, more out of this book than what is here, and I don't know what I expected. I don't know why this doesn't meet my expectations, other than it just seems really simple and like there's not enough of each. But it's weird because I really like Dressing the Galaxy from the Star Wars book, and you know, they have pictures like this too, so I don't know. I guess I just expected more out of this book from Disney. Like more close-ups like of this, like what I want to see this close up, right? And just like it's only 1 page on each thing, which I get. And I guess this is made for like people who maybe aren't costumers, but it's a book about costumes, so I sort of expected more detail about what all the fabrics are and what the underlying fabrics are, and it would have been really nice to see like the insides of stuff, and I guess that's what I'm saying. This isn't meant to be a book review because I haven't actually read this yet. This is just like first glance, like I was like, seems okay. I'm glad I have it, but questioning how much I love it. Amazon sent me an email that said, hey, we think you might like this. And I'm like, hey, Amazon, I agree with you. So I got this book, which looked awesome. It's actually a spiral bound, so it'll lay flat, which I think is bitchin'. And it has all kinds of hand stitches in it, and diagrams and pictures of what the front and back should look like. This is the best part of this. It shows you the front and the back. So sometimes you don't know if you're like completely screwing the pooch there, and you can tell by what the back should look like. So that's cool. Yeah, and then on the back it has this crazy, like, these stitches get out of control in here. Like, I don't know, these look really awesome, and I cannot wait to learn how to use these. Anyway, in the back it has this set of grid things that you can tear out, and I don't know if you can see this. It has holes in it, so you can like mark where the stitches go in and out, so you can, and they're kind of, you know, of course big, you know, like the stitches are really far apart here, but you could practice what the stitch feels like with your hands and make it big to see how that works, and then just make it smaller and smaller. But it basically gives you like muscle memory by being able to like figure out where the stitches should go in relation to each other, I guess. So that looks awesome. I am buku excited about this. Speaking of buku excited, lastly, I don't even know if I'm supposed to talk about this really. Penny River Costumes on Etsy. I will link to her Etsy down below. Jess sent me this book that she is putting out. She asked me to be a little tester for her, and it's a book of hand stitching. So I am going to go through and try and do all these hand stitches based on her diagrams and instructions, and see if I can do that or not and help test it for her. But I'm excited about this book. She's really awesome. So, and she hand bound all of these, like she sewed them. So anyway, these are the books that have arrived in my house through one mean or another recently. Alright, so as you know, I enjoy these fashion plates from old magazines, and I collect them. I have a whole bunch of them actually squirreled away in my guest room closet. I really should bust those out. I'm having a hard time because, like, I really like the symmetry of this wall, you see, but I actually just want to put like a million more up there, and I don't know if that's out of control. Part of me wants to take this picture down and put more up here, but then I don't know if that would just be too busy, because this room's a lot already. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on in here, because there's also like all of this stuff over here, and then a bookcase, and then this insanity. So like, I just think it'd be a lot of clutter. Like, I kind of like the calm that happens over here with the symmetry. But my husband's watching the X-Files, if you can hear that. Yeah, so yeah. Anyway, comment down below if you have comments on that. There's really nowhere else in my house to put those either. I was thinking about rotating them, but they're all like super custom printed, so I don't know. I also don't know how many more I could get on this wall. Like, I could definitely like fill in some here and here, and like I could put them all the way up to the ceiling maybe if I got small ones, but I don't even know. And I could definitely bring them down lower, but is that just like even useful because you can't see them? This is how my mind works, people. Anyway, I found this guy, and it was marked as 32 pounds and from 1879, and I really like this gown and these hats. This is like my favorite kind of hat, as you can tell, because I bought a bunch of them. So I just liked this print, and I loved that it was already matted. And the date is showing up here is July 1879. I don't think I paid 32 pounds for it. I think I paid like 20 something pounds for it, because I think both of these were 30 pounds together. And then I got this guy, which is like unmatted, and it's just like jackets and capes and overcoats, because I don't really have anything with this kind of thing on it. And like, hi, I would like to make this and this and this and definitely this and maybe this. Yeah, so so yeah, I'm just gonna add these to my collection and figure out where to go from there. I think some of my collection is literally just for looking at, like for me to pull out and look at. Maybe I should just get a giant like folio that I can put them all in, so then I can just flip through them. But I need one that can hold pretty big pages, because like I have a bunch that are this size, and that's like a full poster size. Like it doesn't look like it in the camera, but that's a full poster size. Okay, so for a little bit of haberdashery, just like randoms that I picked up. So at Misan, I got a couple of lace collars that I thought might come in useful. There was a gajillion of them, but I'm not good at knowing like what collar goes on what period the best. So I just got the ones I liked. Like I like the swirlies on this one. I don't even know. Does anybody in this want to tell me what period this is good for? And then I liked this guy. So these are another collar set that I don't know when or where I would use, but maybe it just won't be perfectly accurate. I don't know. This guy I thought was amazing, and it's billed as a stomacher, and I was like, I wonder if I could get away with actually putting this on an 18th century stomacher. Or at least some, like maybe not all of it, maybe some of it. But I don't know. I don't know if I can get away with that, but I think it's really cool. And it wasn't very expensive, so I think these were like, they weren't very much. They were like 5-10 pounds, like super cheap. And then they also had this amazing stuff, which is cotton organdy, like pre-made ruffle. So like cuffs inside sleeves, inside 18th century collars. I could just like basically sew this in, hand stitch it in and call it good. So I bought as much as there was of that, which I think is like 14 meters, but I'm not positive. But I was just like, whatever it is. I think it was really cheap too. I think it was like maybe 3 pounds or something a meter. So I was just like, okay, cool. Yeah. So this hot mess, Pandora had this amazing jacket, and I'll see if I can find it. I'm sure I have a picture of her in it. And hat situation in which she actually bought this very same stuff, and we found it when we went out. And what she did was she cut off little pieces like this, and like just this part right here, and put them on her jacket. So she took like these bits here, these ivy, off of this, and then used it as applique, like appliqued it onto her Spencer, and it looked amazing. So when I was given the opportunity to buy this for not very much money, I bought as much as they had right there. And you know, there's like, this thing is like the gift that keeps on giving, because later when you need flowers, okay, here's some flowers, right? Like it just cut those out from this situation and then put it on whatever you need to put it on. So yes to that. I think it must have been Lisa Barty was making lucite cord, and she found this stuff, which is 100% cotton, and you could make a really tight weave lucite cord with it, and she was going to teach me how to do that. So she said she's going to send me one of those lucite cord maker things, and then I can learn how to make it, and then I can make cool cord with this. These were super cheap too. I think these were in euros, and I think these were maybe €5, and these were like €2.50 or whatever. I don't know. It just looked like fun. And then all of this cotton velvet ribbon. I found in that cloth shop store, I found just a stash of random cotton velvet ribbon. And so I basically bought every color I thought I might ever use on a hat that they had. They had a bunch of colors I don't think I would ever use. So I just bought what I could. And I just bought whatever stock they had of it, because they were rolled up. Anyway, it's very soft. And I love these colors. So I just have random amounts, but this is like for hatting. So that's what's happening. And I got them in varied widths. I still need to like, apparently roll up these three, so I will do that shortly. So this guy would go with Watson pretty well. It doesn't have anything happening on the back, but it is beautiful. I think I need to steam this out a little bit. Maybe stitch it. We'll see. I really love this purple one. I don't even know why. It's not something I would normally go for, but I am super into it. I do like the back of this a lot. And of course, my favorite red. Big floofy feathers, white and black, and a nice button back. And then last but not least, the black one with the tails. Has a nice big floofy feather, although that's not really picking up on camera very well. And then a nice big bow in the back with some tails that I'm into. Okay, so lastly, I got this necklace. I was looking for a chatelaine, which for those of you who know, you can actually wear around your neck. And this is an example of a chatelaine, but most of the time they're worn on your waistband. And I am still looking for one. I found one, but it's like $1,000. So I'm like, maybe not that one, although it is perfect. So I got this guy in Amsterdam. I found it at an antique store, and it is 1870s to 1880s, she said. And it's particularly Dutch because of the seashell motif, and it has a stamp, which would have been used for wax sealing, and you would have gotten your stamp engraved here on it once you bought this. And then this is for winding clocks and watches. And it wasn't very expensive, so I was really excited to find it. Anyway, I got this on a really lovely day that I spent with Desiree and Nikki and Melchior, and we had a really good time, and it was just so pleasant and lovely to hang out with them and get to meet them in person and like chill. And it was like instantly we were old friends already without really having to like go through that period, so it was wonderful. So this little treasure means the world to me, especially from this trip, and it's something that I will absolutely use in my costuming because it's a great piece to wear, and I just think it's really beautiful, and it reminds me of Amsterdam, and so I love it. Do you guys remember when I was freaking out about like how much luggage I was allowed to bring and how much weight I was allowed to carry, and like I would only be allowed to have one suitcase at a time? This is why. So basically what happened is I didn't buy anything on this trip save the necklace until France. And then I bought just a little bit of fabric. I bought almost everything else in the UK because that's when I acquired the rest of my luggage and also another piece of baggage. But that's why I was like so concerned about it. Everyone's like, oh, you just need to pack better. And I'm just like, no. I need 3 weeks worth of Muggle clothes. And I actually did need both suitcases. Like, I was pretty conservative. I mean, like I had to wash my underwear and stuff, so I didn't even bring all the clothes that I really needed for 3 weeks, and I still needed both suitcases. And then I had to buy, it was like, the second suitcase was only like half full really. I could have like definitely come with a smaller suitcase, but I knew I was gonna buy stuff, so I filled that up, and then I had to buy another suitcase because these hats are massive in their boxes. So and everyone kept going, hey, why don't you mail those? Let me just tell you why I don't mail those. I've had so much crap lost or stolen, or it looks like it was used for a rugby match, like just ridiculous when I send stuff back from places. So everyone was like, haven't you ever heard of the Postal Service, Noelle? And I was like, thank you, snarky snark. But like, yeah, I have. And A, I don't want to waste the time going to the Postal Service. B, it was Sunday and I had to get on a train. So there, I couldn't go to the Postal Service, and I had to get it back to London somehow. But also, I was allowed 3 bags, so like, why wouldn't I take the 3 bags? And also, man, they just destroy your crap. Like sometimes you get stuff and it's absolutely fine, but more often than not, I've had, especially large packages, and this would have had to be pretty large for all 4 boxes. plus a bunch of fabric. Like, it would have cost too much. It would have come damaged. Like, it would have either gotten lost or stolen. It would have taken months. It was like so much easier just to get a piece of luggage and then bring it with me. So that's why I did that. So it's giveaway time. Yay. My friend Jen gave me this book, The Art of Manipulating Fabric, but I already had this book. She used this in one of her classes and she really liked it, and I really like it. And so since it's in great condition, I thought I would send it to one of you guys. I hit 5,000 subscribers on YouTube, and that was really exciting. And I also hit some pretty good numbers on Instagram, and I was not expecting that during my trip. So I thought I would just do a little giveaway. It's going to be done over on Instagram. I'm going to leave this up for, let's say, somewhere around 10 days after I launch it, and I think that's going to happen on Thursday. So I'm going to say that this will close at midnight Pacific time on the 13th. So you have all day for the whole weekend to do this and make sure that you're subscribed to both and stuff like that. All you have to do to win this book is go over to my Instagram post and be subscribed there, and also be subscribed here. It would be useful to me if you would leave a comment down below also telling me what your Instagram handle is so that I can make sure of that. I don't really want to put any weird limitations or make anyone jump through hoops for this one. I just want to give somebody a book. But it would be nice to give it to somebody who's actually like in this community with us. So that's how I decided to do it. So you have through Sunday the 13th Pacific time, midnight. So in Europe, that is 9 a.m. Monday morning, the 14th, just so you know. Just make sure you're subscribed to both and leave a comment on this video telling me what your Instagram handle is so I can go find you. I guess it's the best way to do this. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I've never done a giveaway before, but I'm super happy to do it, and I'm super happy to give this to somebody who really wants it. You can look this book up on Amazon if you want to see reviews on it. It's definitely a super interesting book, and it tells you how to like do ruching and all sorts of really cool like tricks and techniques to play with your fabric through quilting and other random stitching methods. So here, I'm just gonna flip through it so you guys can see what you're getting into. It's really cool. Like, every single page inspires me in some weird way to like do some cool thing. There's lots of like smocking, there's lots of pleating, stuff like that in here. So if you're into it, leave me a comment. Make sure you're subscribed. All right, so I think that does it for this video. I hope you enjoyed the haul. Leave me down comments down below if you need to introduce yourself, and so I can know who you guys all are. If you guys have thoughts on the wall, how I could do this. I really think putting stuff over there is going to make it cluttered, but I really want to have more. The problem is, like, I could switch them out too, but the nails are in there in like a very specific spot, and that's a lot of faff. And I'm not gonna do that. Like, let's all just be honest, that's not really gonna happen. People say that that kind of stuff happens, it's not gonna happen. Yeah. Anyway, leave me down comments down below on that. If you have commentary on the stuff that I got, let me know about that too. I think my next video is probably gonna be like the plan, what's going down in the future and what I'm gonna work on next. Hopefully I will get started working on stuff this weekend because I would like to do that. Just start getting it done. I want to get things done quickly. I have a million plans and not enough time to do them. So I think I'm just gonna put them on the board and see what shakes out. I have a few like fun announcements also. Okay, I will see you guys next time. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, feel free to do so. There's a bell if you want to know when my videos go live. Feel free to push it if you want to. Have a great day, guys, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.